Hello, New York! Welcome to Beyond the Game on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Jacob Volk. Sitting across from me, Eric Fischetti and Matt Charkowicz. Guys, what's good?
It's going to rain.
Much?
Yes, it is going to rain.
I'm drenched as it is.
You are dressed very incorrectly.
I wasn't expecting it to rain cats and dogs today.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We do have a new student in the studio with us. His name is Sam Eisenberg.
New
Sam,
meat.
how are you, buddy?
What's going on?
Good. How are you, everyone?
Doing good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
From Plainview, big sports fan, as you guys are. Big Met fan.
Can't talk into the microphone. Move the microphone up a little bit for you. There you go.
Bengals fan, Nets fan. So,
didn't you do high school radio? You should know how to. You should know how to angle the mic, Sam.
You're from Plainview?
I am from Plainview.
Did you go to POV?
I went to Matlin.
Oh, okay. I went to POV. So,
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I know, like, a couple of people from Plainview that used to come here. Tova was one of them.
Yeah.
Now you, and someone else. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, actually. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Small world.
The number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. And we got to start with baseball. Tonight, the Yankees will start a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium against the Rays. Eric, I'll be there on Thursday, but I want to know what your thoughts are on the series.
Well, let me just make an executive decision right now. Last night, I was at the Yankee game with Mike Sanford because, he's a Met fan for some reason. And, we
It
decided...
takes a village, Eric.
Yeah, I know. But we went to the Yankee-Met game kind of like on a whim and, unplanningly. But, Jacob, turns out that you were there, too, and you ended up moving us down. And that was probably the nicest thing that you could do, so thank you.
You're very welcome. Happy to do it.
Yeah, no problem. But let me just say this. I am scared of Luis Severino right now. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what it is. To me, I think it's workload. I don't know why, but he says that he's not fatigued. So I don't know.
I don't think it's workload.
He's slacking off a little bit.
I don't know if it's workload or not. I mean, he's pitched 190 innings in the bigs. He did that last year. So I don't think it's workload. I don't know what it is with Severino.
That blew my mind. It was top of the fourth. I'm like, I tuned into the game because I came into the game late. But I was like, when I saw that he had over 90 pitches, it was only top of the fourth. I'm like, is this going to be your ideal guy come September?
No.
Towards the bottom of the stretch?
Honestly,
like, he's playing really, really poor.
I think that honestly, a part of me wants to rest him, but the next part of me is like, no one is there to take that next step up.
It's not a rest issue. It's not a workload issue. This is just a mechanical issue, and Rothschild has to sort it out with him because the Yankees need him to be successful if they're going to make a big run in the playoffs. As it stands right now, this team is going to be ousted in the ALDS. If Severino pitches like we know he can, then the Yankees have a good shot of beating Boston. But until that time comes, I'm scared. I'm terrified.
And you want him taking the workload. He's your ace. He's your number one guy. You want him out there. You want to believe in him. And he hasn't shown it the last few starts. And
he's been dreadful.
And he's
absolutely awful.
And I mean, he's not facing any teams that are powerful teams that should be hitting the ball as well. I mean,
Boston.
Besides Boston, but otherwise, the Mets, I mean...
That's what scares me the most about this Yankees team. You're losing to a team last night that was coming off like this is one of their worst seasons in recent memory.
5 home runs last night.
Can you believe that?
Against one of the worst offenses in baseball.
I would have to be worried. And especially...
I'm terrified.
Ahmed Rosario was in the leadoff spot, and he was hitting him pretty well. He was making nice contact off him, led the game off with the homer. If I'm a Yankee fan, I'm worried.
Oh, there's not a Yankee fan alive that isn't worried. Severino's last 6 starts, I'll read it to you. He's 1-4 with a 7.84 ERA.
Oh,
God.
He's the ace.
I know.
Inexcusable. It's a joke. For the Yankees to be successful, Severino needs to be successful. And right now, I don't know if I want him on the playoff roster. I'd rather have Happen Lynn at this point.
Wait, so Okay. So right now it's looking as if, the Yankees are going to host the wild card game against whoever it is, but there's a choice of 3 teams that it could be. The Oakland A's, the Seattle Mariners, and if they keep slipping, the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's frightening too. I don't want to face the Astros at all.
does. No.
I have faith against the Mariners. I have faith against the A's. The Astros, as much as they have been slipping, that rotation is just frightening.
Well, in
But
one game, it really doesn't matter.
I know. I mean, all bets are off in that one game, but who would you start that one game? I'm really looking...
Either Sabathia or Tanaka.
I'm really looking at Sabathia right now.
Yeah.
At any
well,
case-
the thing is, though, Sabathia's hurt.
I
And
know.
it's the same knee that's giving him issues. I can't trust Sabathia right now.
Sabathia was hurt. Tanaka was terrible his last start, and Tanaka's going again against the Rays in a couple days. So you want him and Sabathia to step up, and you want Sabathia to come back healthy. I mean, really, last season in the playoffs, he was their guy, in my opinion, that took the workload, and they wanted to give him the ball, and they felt the most confident with him.
He was great last
He was
playoffs.
fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
And that's what you want again out of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. But when it comes time to the wild card, what if it came down to either Lynn or Happ?
Pick your poison at that point. They're pretty interchangeable to me.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not.
Depending on the lineup, if it's lefty heavy, you go with Happ. If it's righty heavy, you go with Lynn.
I mean, those aren't the worst options in the world, but, you would rather throw your ace out there, but
The thing
can't
is,
trust
though,
him right now.
The thing is, though, Lynn or Happ, if I'm an opposing team, they don't scare me. Severino, when he's on, scares me. Sabathia scares me. Tanaka scares me. That's the issue with the Yankees. They only have one pitcher right now on their active roster that scares me in that rotation, and that's Tanaka. Because I do not know what Sabathia is going to be. This is the same right knee that has given him troubles his whole career.
Apparently, he is supposed to miss just one start. So, him being on the DL is obviously going to be a hit for that one start because you can obviously
I'm
use
just
him.
concerned. Again, this is the same knee that's given him issues.
No, it's very concerning, but you know what? You just can't worry about it right now. You just got to keep winning your games. You got to get this team right. That's basically your main concern right now. You can't worry about the standings. You can't worry about anything. You can't worry about the A's, the Astros, and the Mariners. You just got to keep grinding out these games. You got to come up with winning these games. They miss Judge and Sanchez more than anything.
I wouldn't
telling
even
you.
know. I completely disagree with you. This is not a hitting issue. This is a rotation issue. The Yankees put up 5 runs yesterday against the Mets. They hit Jacob deGrom pretty well. deGrom did not pitch well yesterday.
No, he didn't.
For his standards, deGrom did not pitch well. And the Yankees did hit Seth Lugo pretty well. Thank you, Miguel Andujar, for the meaningless home run. He reminded me of A-Rod, hitting a meaningless home
right
run.
there?
Yeah, to make it 7-5. You had to know the Yankees weren't going to come back at that point. Down 7-3 makes it 7-5. It was a bunch of nonsense. The Yankees weren't going to come back in that game. So it's not a lineup issue. Yes, they miss Judge. Yes, they miss Sanchez. But that's not the issue. The issue is the rotation. That's what I'm concerned about right now. I am concerned with the fact that the Yankees only have one guy in their rotation right now that scares me if I'm an opposing team.
Which is Tanaka.
Yeah.
Like you said.
That terrifies me. And speaking of the lineup, Greg Bird.
Oh, my God. I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't. I'm trying so hard to say, you know what? He can be saved. He can be saved. He can be saved. He reminds me of Sonny Gray. I kept saying the
Good
same
comparison.
thing. I kept saying the same thing this whole year. And you know me. I was trying my hardest to say, oh, Sonny Gray can turn around. He's too good of a pitcher. When is it coming? When is Greg Bird actually going to put the bat on the ball? He bunted yesterday. That was the most production I've seen out of him this week so far.
Hallelujah. At least the guy can bunt. I give him credit for being able to bunt, because no one
That was
in
good
today's baseball can bunt. Yeah, exactly.
That was very good baseball. But Greg Bird is just, I don't know what to do anymore with him.
Biggest question mark right there, for sure.
After this season, the Yankees need to reevaluate themselves at first base.
Yes.
And I really don't know who the answer is. I really don't.
Matt Adams is a free agent. He's been doing pretty well for the Nationals. You may want to bring him in, but it is clear that Greg Bird is not the answer. In the wild card game, I want Walker playing first. I really do. He's better than Bird right now.
Yeah, right now especially.
Can Bird turn it around? It's possible. It's not likely, but there is a small chance he can. I would say, there's a 20% chance.
So are you just completely done with him, or do you want to give him, another shot?
I want the Yankees to continue to roll with him for as much as they can, but next year I don't want him starting. Does that make sense?
Yes,
that
makes perfect sense.
Okay.
But I just want
because
to...
I'm not sure if Neil Walker is a better player than Greg Bird.
I mean, Neil Walker can help this team in the long run.
As of right now...
I mean, this year.
I knew what you meant. As of right now, Walker's the better player than Bird, but in October, I don't know what Neil Walker is. I know what Greg Bird is, a very good playoff performer.
I mean, it would help if that translated to the regular season the following year. I mean, he hit one of the biggest homers of his life off Andrew Miller, and that probably changed the series, like right there.
Yep.
But, it's just so hard. It's so hard to see, the bright spot in Greg Bird right now. It really is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's tough to watch him play right now. Do I like him because he's a Yankee? Yeah, but, obviously he could be better. And it's just...
That's the understatement of the year.
Honestly, but I just want to shift to the Yankee series against the Rays. Just for some reason, I said this to you yesterday, they played down to their opponent all the time. That was my biggest issue with the Giants 2 years ago.
They gave up 8 runs to the Mets, one of the worst offenses in all of baseball. Inexcusable.
But they play well against the great teams, and they play bad against the bad teams. I don't know why. It's just... That's mainly the eye test. Stats can point you in one way, but the eye test is a totally different animal. Just sometimes when you face these bad teams, especially if you're the Yankees, depending on who's on the mound too, it's just like they play down to their opponents. Very infuriating. And the Tampa Bay Rays have been a thorn in the Yankees' side this whole year. And you know what? They're surprisingly better than I thought, the Tampa Bay Rays, especially
Give Kevin Cash a ton of credit.
I like him. I think he's a very good manager.
Excellent manager. While we're on the subject of the Rays, I do want to give a brief update to the Chris Archer trade. This broke an hour ago. If you'll recall, the trade was Chris Archer to the Pirates for Austin Meadows, Tyler Glasnow, and a player to be named later. The player to be named later is Shane Baz, who was their first-round pick last year. Guy has a ton of potential. He's only 19 years old. I've seen him hit 98 on his fastball. For the Rays to get this haul for Archer, it's the steal of the deadline.
The Pirates are overhyping Chris Archer.
Yes, they are. I commend the Pirates for trying to contend, but they are going to be god-awful in the years to come because Huntington just gutted his farm system for the most overrated player in all of baseball. Also tonight, the Mets will start a 2-game series at Camden Yards against the Orioles. Matt, what do you think of the series?
Well, after last night, I gotta say they look like they were back to their April form. You can say that. If there's one positive about that game last night,
you have every right to be happy as a Met fan.
It was fun. It was fun.
World Series.
It was fun to reminisce for sure. But I think Sam can agree with me on that one. That was a fun game.
Beating up on the Yankees. I know Jacob and Eric, you guys are definitely not a fan of that. And for the Yankees, they got to beat up on the bad teams. And back to the Mets series, I mean, they got Jason Vargas on the mound tonight against Andrew
I'm not looking forward
Cashner.
to it. Vargas has been an absolute train wreck this year.
Oh, the guy stinks.
He's awful.
That's the
absolutely
understatement of the year. Vargas was the worst free agent signing.
I didn't want him on this team in any shape or form. I don't know what we saw in him.
Well, you saw
from his experience and how he performed on the Royals. He wasn't bad there for sure.
The first half of last year, he was great.
He was fantastic.
The guy led the majors in wins last year.
18 wins.
Yeah.
18.
Evidently, that happens by accident. It's amazing. But there's one thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the Mets, and it's not about this series. The Mets should beat up on the Orioles. The Orioles are one of the worst teams in all of baseball. I don't care that it's at Camden Yards.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Mets should beat up on the Orioles. There were a couple names that were reported by Nick Cafardo of the Boston Globe for taking over for Alderson. So let me throw them out to you. If you don't know who these guys are, it's okay. Unless you're a huge baseball fan, you're not going to know who they are. Again, that's okay. The first one is Tony LaCava. The guy has worked with the Blue Jays since 2002. And the second one is Bobby Heck. The guy used to work for the Houston Astros. He now works for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's been there since 2015. I'm getting choked up over Bobby Heck. That's pretty bad. You know what? In all seriousness, I do think Heck will be a good hire for the Mets, but what do you guys think? I know it's kind of tough, but
I've heard of Heck a little bit. He's decent. I would, if anything, it would be the step in the right direction if you can get somebody who can be somewhat productive for your team.
I mean, I'll tell you what I like about Heck is he was around Houston and around Tampa